The Indian government has also announced the withdrawal of its High Commissioner and other diplomats from Canada, citing concerns over their safety due to Justin Trudeau-led Canadian government's actions amid rising extremism. Let's take a look at this report.
India and Canada have been at daggers drawn ever since Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a statement in the Canadian Parliament in September last year, charging India of having a hand in the alleged killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. India had dismissed those charges with contempt and demanded proof from Canada. Now, not only has Canada repeated its unfounded allegations, but it has also sent a diplomatic communication to India suggesting that the Indian High Commissioner in Ottawa and other diplomats are persons of interest in a matter related to an investigation. In a sharply worded statement, India's External Affairs Ministry has said the Government of India strongly rejects these preposterous imputations and ascribes them to the political agenda of the Trudeau government, that it is centred around vote bank politics. The Indian Foreign Ministry further said that this communication has come despite the Canadian government not sharing a shred of evidence with the Indian government, even after repeated requests. It was also said that the latest step follows interactions where assertions were made sans facts. The move leaves no doubt that there is a deliberate strategy to smear India for political gains. Prime Minister Trudeau's hostility to India has long been in evidence. Trudeau's 2018 India visit was aimed at currying favour with the vote bank. Trudeau's 2018 India visit rebounded on him to his discomfiture. Trudeau's cabinet has included individuals who have openly associated with an extremist and separatist agenda regarding India. Trudeau's naked interference in India's internal politics in December 2020 showed how far he was willing to go. His government was dependent on a political party whose leader openly espouses a separatist ideology vis-à-vis India. Trudeau's government has been under criticism for turning a blind eye to foreign interference in Canadian politics. Trudeau's government has deliberately brought in India in a bid to mitigate the damage. The latest development of targeting Indian diplomats is the next step in damage control. It's no coincidence that the move has been made when Trudeau is to depose before a commission on foreign interference. The move also serves the anti-India separatist agenda which the Trudeau government has constantly pandered to for narrow political gains. The Trudeau government has consciously provided space to violent extremists and terrorists. Space has been given to harass, threaten and intimidate Indian diplomats and community leaders in Canada. Death threats have been issued to Indian diplomats and others. All such activities have been justified in the name of freedom of speech. Some anti-India individuals who entered Canada illegally have been fast-tracked for citizenship. Multiple extradition requests from the Government of India for terrorists and organised crime leaders living in Canada have been ignored. The MEA also said that India's Canadian High Commissioner Sanjay Kumar is the senior-most serving diplomat and the aspersions cast on him ludicrous and deserve to be treated with contempt. India also went to the extent of saying that it has taken cognizance of the activities of the Canadian High Commission in India that serves the political agenda of the Trudeau regime. Canada had to withdraw 41 diplomats from Delhi last October when India demanded parity over diplomatic representation. Canada has the second largest Sikh community in the world after India, making around 2% of that country's population. Sikh separatism, stamped out in India, has found shelter there and holds political sway in some pockets. National elections are due in Canada in October 2025, and an increasingly unpopular Trudeau government is doing all it can to play vote bank politics with an issue critical to India's national security. With Gautam Roy, Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
DD India's Meghna Dev has more information on this and she is joining us live. Meghna, you don't recall the High Commissioner unless the situation is dire, unless you want to downgrade the relationship. It's an unprecedented escalation.
Well, Abhishek, so to say that at the moment, the diplomatic relationship between India and Canada are, on a very new low, or we can say it's almost dead at the moment because of the kind of diplomatic representation that that came from Canada. The persons of interest in the murder investigation are the Indian High Commissioner and Indian diplomats. Having said that, very importantly, we did see that how India has swiftly reacted and very sharply rebutted whatever Canada had said in terms of smearing India's image, as well as putting allegations against our Indian diplomats and our High Commissioner. Now, first, when India has called back the Indian High Commissioner and other Indian officials, India has also said that it has no trust at the moment in the government in terms of safety and security. Abhishek, let's get a flashback on how many threats did Indian diplomats and the Indian High Commissioners been getting since past 1 year or more than that, wherein they have been given death threats, intimidation, and whatnot, and they have still been working there. So it is a very difficult. It had been a very difficult time for them as well. But now, when we are seeing that these allegations and these concocted stories and pre-prostrated allegations are not are nowhere looking for a stop, India has very strongly reacted with the step of calling back its High Commissioner and Indian diplomats, wherein India fears for their safety. So this is a very, very strong statement that India has put across. Definitely not to forget that it has also expelled six Canadian diplomats who are in New Delhi, and they have also given them an ultimatum that they should be leaving until or by before or by 19th October 11:59 p.m. So that's a very, very strong reaction that India has.
Yes, India has reacted strongly, Meghna, but it might not be over here. India has also issued a warning to Canada, and Canada could reply to India again. The whole face-off, you think, could blow up further? Like you said, biggest low in relationship between India and Canada.
I would not be surprised, Abhishek, if this goes further, because of the fact that these allegations are not just against anybody. These are the allegations that Canada has put without evidence are against the Indian High Commissioner and diplomats. So that's, that makes the situation even more grave, because India has been time and again asking for evidence which Canada has not been able to provide for. So these allegations are at the moment and since last multiple months, these allegations are completely baseless. So that's what we definitely see, that with baseless allegations, it is completely politically driven agenda to use India's name, to smear India's name for narrow political gains. So this clearly looks like, that the story that in Canada has been saying that they have evidence is something that is concocted. It is not real, because as the statement read, that not even a shred of evidence has been shared with India. So that clearly, that clearly defines the stand that, where exactly Canada is at the moment. And besides that, as I said, Abhishek, I will not be surprised if there will be more stronger steps taken further.
All right, keep tracking this. We'll leave it at that for the time being, but yes, we'll keep taking updates from you, Meghna.